Hello. Извините, я не очень говорю по-русски хорошо. Я румынский нет. Я из Голландии. Меня зовут Ronald. Я культуры English. If I can get my presentation out, that'd be nice. Not a problem. Sure. So I was here 3 weeks ago for the first time in Moldova. Very beautiful. It was arranged by the embassy of the Netherlands. And we had a tour for 3 days throughout the orchards, apples, as well as grapes, as well as other fruits and vegetables as well. So that really made me open my eyes, and I'd say, about the incredible possibilities you have. Yeah, let's see if this works. No, not yet. Although I just uploaded it. Anyway, so I'll continue. So I am the founder and director of the company called Rapagra. And Rapagra is actually a company that is into agriculture, big data, robotics, as well as in very scientific approach on plants and the life of plants in general. I hope in the back it will work. So I can do it without, but that makes it a little bit less interesting for you guys, I think, and girls. I started this company in already in 2023. It's much younger than probably you all have your orchards for sure. But we hit it off in a quick start. As I said, I was here 3 weeks ago, and because of that tour, I am now here, and I am able to speak to you about new developments in agriculture. A little bit about myself. I am a lecturer, professor, guest lecturer in Wageningen University, which is the university that is actually number one in agriculture in the world. It only focuses on agriculture and livestock and everything that goes around it. Apart from that, I am a mentor for all kinds of startups and entrepreneurs that are actually really trying to get the idea into the world, making a business. I see it here, but not there. Yes, there it is. Yes. So, as I said, Rapagra, what we do with Rapagra is actually we use completely new technologies and a different approach to plants and plant health. As our mission is, for you as a goal, we reduce crop loss, increase yields. And we use new tech. For instance, in the Netherlands, it's a very big thing. For me, it will come here too. I'm not sure. But using less fertilizer, less pesticides, less fungicides, etc., is a very important part of new production methods. Wageningen University is specializing in that. So that is also what we are trying to do. So especially with new tech, because with new tech you can do much more than the traditional way of doing agriculture, like using cameras, specific filters, lenses, specific lights. So this is a bit about what do we do now, what tech we use, results we get, and why am I here, right? So with in the beginning, 2 years ago, we created an app, and the app monitors plant health. So plant health in the open field. So it now has 19 different crops, fruits, and vegetables, and it uses satellite. It uses meteorological data, specific soil data. So as we can see, plant health is actually the first warning system for a disease, although disease is not there. So what we see is if a plant with low plant health gets increasingly fast impact of a disease. So that means in a very early stage, whenever there's stress, or when the biomass goes lower, then we see in our growth models, that is the moment that we can see, in that part, there is a stress part coming, and that's where the impact of diseases will take place. So that means before even a disease takes place in your field, if the humidity is not above 90%, temperatures are not 20 degrees and above, but in principle, then we can see already, okay, impact of a disease will be there, so you can do something way earlier than when a disease is already there, because then there's only one option, actually two. Pull it out, or you can treat it, pesticides, whatever. So it's a pre-warning system for diseases. It will give you information also about what to do. So it's not just displaying of nice data and graphs, because you are farmers. You didn't choose to become a data analyst or a something like that, graph designer or whatever. So we make it quite easy. So we give you recommendations per plant per day on a daily basis on your field, specifically on the field. It's very easy to use. You can actually download the app already if you want from Play Store or App Store. So it gives a recommendation on fertilization, fungicides, irrigation, etc. And of course, it leads to higher yields. That's what we're here for. You have no use for this. I'm not useless here on stage. So how the app works? Actually, we have meteorological data, satellite data, and our cloud computing with our intellectual property algorithms. So then, when you have drawn your field in the app, we divide it into pieces of 10 by 10 meter. Based on that 100 square meter surfaces, we then calculate how healthy that part in your field is. Every day we do the same, and then we can see the discrepancies. As you can see, there is these yellow blocks over there. There is this one? Right. So the yellow blocks and the little less green blocks, they indicate that plant health is lower. So that means in that 100 square meters, there are plants that are not perfectly healthy or not healthy as the rest, which means you have to go and have a look. But we can also give you recommendations because we know where the stress comes from. We know why the growth is behind. We also know when there's time for certain diseases, and we can then map and forecast those diseases. So even if they're not diseases yet there, as I said, we can say there will be your impact. On top of that, because what I'm trying to find, or we as my team is trying to find, we're trying to find that single plant that is the total risk for your whole field. So the total risk means that if a plant is weak, it will become a host for your disease. Let's say for potatoes, Phytophthora, right? So, or in mildew in the grapes, let's say. So the moment that we see this weak plant, that will be your host for the future spore that it will start to produce the moment that it captures the host. So for that specific, plant-specific, very, very precise farming, we created a robot. And that robot is like 1.5 shoe size in size. It's not a big one. It doesn't go over the plants. Because then you have problems with heights, etc. So this robot drives in the night. What we do is we have the satellite data already in the app. So we actually tell the robot which quadrants of 10 by 10 meter it has to go to start checking plant for plant. So the moment that we have done that, that is the moment that it drives in the night, and we take 2 pictures per plant. And the first one is with a very low light intensity, and the second is with a very high light intensity, like 5,000 micromole. And based on that, we activate the photosynthesis, give a specific light. And because we can see the speed distribution of that energy, we can then tell how healthy or how unhealthy that specific plant is. Based on that, the reflection of what the leaf gives back, we can also tell if it's a nutrient deficiency or if it's water stress. So we then can make actually recommendations for plants for nutrient stress and water stress. Incoming as well in images is it would take images of the lice because the robot is so small, comes under the leaves. And under the leaves, that's of course complementary to the satellite and drone, etc. above the leaf. Because if you have drone pictures, it always gets the youngest leaves, which are the healthiest. So you will always get a little biased idea about your plants. So with this robot, we can actually go under the leaves and the lowest leaves who are the oldest and have the most damage of diseases like funguses, bacteria, etc. So in that sense, because we are coming under the leaves, we can also do a lice count, aphids, it says. So based on that, we can then also project when you need insecticides to kill those aphids, those lice. So this goes not only for potatoes, it goes for grapes, it goes for apples, it goes for apricots, everything. So how does the robot work? So in principle, as I said, we have the parcel here divided in the quadrants. The moment that we divide it in quadrants, we can then say, hey, robot, go to those quadrants in the red part and make pictures of every individual plant in that area. Based on that pictures, you will send those in our cloud. And based on the cloud, we do the calculations. And while you're sleeping, it doesn't work. And in the morning, you will get the GPS coordinates in the map. You can either upload it into your tractor, or you can have your agronomist have a look at it, or look at it yourself. So in that case, we also map the disease forecasting. Also, we tell when the lice colonies are big, because lice are, I hardly dare to say it, they're beautiful little insects, because the moment that their food is low, the colony is big, then they start producing animals with wings so they can spread. And that is the moment where we can warn you about. We can tell, hey, you have to do something now, otherwise you will have a spreading of potentially a virus in that sense. So, results on aphids, as you can see, you have a picture there also. We light them up and we count them. So we light them up, we count the plant, we forecast maturity of the colony, we forecast timing of the expansion, so you can actually start doing something about it. So, impact. What is the impact of what we do? Because, of course, you have a cost, you have a benefit. It's the same as cost and yield in that sense. So, the direct cost, it will go down both in the app as well as the robot. So, the indirect cost, well, everything goes down except for the yield. The nutrient efficiency goes up, the water efficiency goes up. I see also drippers here, drip technology systems. But that even includes all of this as well. We can also load that up. So another thing that is probably not very relevant here, but I just wanted to tell you, we have also a system where we measure proteins in the grass, but also in maize. That's for fodder, if you have any cattle, whatever. So we do that for various grass types and maize. We use it for livestock and dairy. Actually, we recommend the food intake for dairy cows based on the optimal fodder intake. So grazing cows outside in the parcels, we can actually tell how much proteins they get, as well as energy to absorb it. Just to give you an idea. So why am I here? We are currently looking for farmers that want to develop similar technologies for orchards. If it is for apples, if it is for apricots, if it's for grapes, please send me an email based on that. My email is ronald@rapagra.nl. So I'll be very happy to walk you through our system in person. And then we can actually tell how we can help you with your apple orchards, with your apricot orchards, your grape, etc. Thank you very much for your time.